YouTube is literally the devil. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not being hyperbolic. That is literally the truth. You want proof, man? Hey, by the way, welcome to the actual TiborasaurusRex channel. If you made it here, awesome. Congratulations. It's good to finally have you here. I'll help you navigate this critter after a little bit, but we're going to talk about this first, okay? So, my friend Mike, you guys probably know who I'm talking about. He does reviews and gear and stuff like that. They kick him off. YouTube kicks him off of the channel. Why exactly is that? Well, see, they give their BS reasons, but the actual reasons, I think we all know what they are. They're diametrically opposed to the entire idea of anything that's wholesome or good or professional or supporting of the old ways of this country, supporting the principles of the founding fathers, supporting civil liberty. What's the second, key giant thing that was protected? Right after the right to freedom of speech, which is directly being... speech? Nope. You see, we're a public utility when it comes to taxes, but when it comes to us having prejudice against political dispositions and ethical dispositions and moral dispositions we don't agree with, you're out of here. See, when it comes to taxes, we're a public utility. You can't tax us the same way you tax everyone else. We have, when it comes to monopolized control, which is illegal. Oh no, see, that doesn't apply to us because we're basically important like a public utility. But, if you go against our private company, because we are allowed to do business with whoever we want, right? Then they shut you down. So what the heck's up with that? Because YouTube is literally the devil. They are the hub of the industrial war machine on the planet Earth. I mean, tell me, page through it. Doesn't matter which giant flaming apocalypse it is. In 2022, 2023, we've seen that one. They pimp those videos like no other. Oh, you're not allowed to make money off of this because that wouldn't be right. We're the ones that make the money around here. So they take Mike's channel and they give him violations and they shut him down, basically, right? Almost. Soon to be, I'm sure. Why? Mike is wholesome. He's actually the most professional guy on here that does this, probably, in terms of being squared away with his facts and professional delivery. I'm talking he doesn't wear a suit and tie, but he carries himself in a very professional, senior military type position type manner. He does a good job. He's got actually the experience to back up what he's doing here too, in terms of systems of organizing and analyzing, what he's doing, reviewing equipment. He does a good job. He understands how to, matrix it out, give you the facts, analyze those facts, and deliver it to you. I've always watched his channel because there's good stuff there. But no, you deliver it from a wholesome point of view, you're out of here. How about, what's another example? You remember the sweet old grandpa? Remember him? You would just you sit at his porch or sit on his table out in the woods and shoot all those silhouettes or whatever, right? And having a good time with that. And basically you felt like his digital grandkids, right? Why? Because some of us, like my grandfathers, both died way before I was born. Okay, that'll be my digital grandpa in that category. Wholesome delivery, good ethics, clean-cut stuff, good guy. Nope, got to shut him down. Why? Because they're delivering you liberty teeth from an angle they don't like, which is wholesome, good Americana. They don't like it. But they'll allow freaking ISIL to post their videos for a decade. But not grandpa. No. The first videos of mine they demonetized were wood carving videos with the sweet grandpa on there. Wood carving videos. Custom checkering channel, how to carve leaves onto wood. This doesn't meet our community guidelines. And now stay tuned for, look at this drone footage. This is amazing. Our thing has gone good. I think we should get some more of the challengers over here. Let's send this giant pile of billions and billions. How many billions? How many times would I have to say a billion to add up to the money this last time? 40 billion? I'd have to say $1 billion 40 times. That's how much money they're going to give just in this little phase to continue the dive off of the cliff into the pointing rocks below into the flaming hell pit of World War III. You know, entire nations being trampled because media corporations continue to pimp out the MI6's propaganda to continue the deal and steal your hearts and minds. I mean, stuff. I'm telling you, I'm not joking when I say they're literally the devil. See, World War III and watching some teenagers from a country you don't like because the news told you not to like it, because YouTube continuously tells you not to like it. Teenagers walking around trying to do their job that they got drafted into doing, they didn't want to do it. You know, drone footage. Well, watch it. It's getting closer. Oh, there they go. And now for a commercial. See, YouTube keeps the money from the commercial on the stuff they push there. But Mike, no, geez, you put in a standard capacity item into your normal item that on the scale of shit we pimp is like this big. You see, we're into tanks and missile systems and rocket artillery barrages. We're into cities on fire, Mike. You just don't understand our community standards. Our community standards are literally cities on fire and skeletons and families with no kids anymore.
Hey, Papa, give you a hug.
Oh, you're going to give me a big hug. He sees that I'm all worked up. Thank you, Mr. Twister.
Why now?
Yeah. Hey, you want this cheese?
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you what. I feel like the man. And again, welcome to the real channel. This is my classroom here. This is my house classroom. Man, why do they make these things so childproof? Here we go. Probably so I don't get into it. So I planted a vineyard a long time ago in the space of the digital rectangle of death that you're holding in your hand now, probably watching this. I planted a vineyard tenaciously for years there. Spent a lot of time developing tutorials, lessons, music videos, talks, discussions. And all those tutorials were really geared for a subtle purpose to support Americana. Why? Because Americana supports biblical principles historically, according to the original template. And I wanted to have my portion of the path, covered and do my job the way it's supposed to be done, whatever. Giving the fishing tackle I've been given by the master. We're all fishers of men. That's the tackle I've been given. Okay, I'll use this, I guess. Guys like to see the long-range precision deal carried out, right? So I planted a vineyard there, knowing that was the end goal. And man, the thing, some of the trees grew good. I started off as little trees that grow into big trees, and here we are. So what do we do now that the bulldozers have built a road right through the middle of the vineyard? See, I never intended my vineyard to have a highway right going through the middle of it, where teenagers get out of the car and they eat all the fruit off the trees so I don't get any. And then they throw their garbage at my vineyard, and then they drive through the stuff that I planted in my vineyard, part of this giant, huge forest, digital forest that exists, right? See, I get to plant my vineyard, but by the time it starts to really bear fruit, right when it's about to get to that full mature stage where it's just awesome to sit in there. Oh, you're gonna give me a big kiss on the cheek here? Thank you. So, right when I am working on my vineyard and, going to go out there and eat some fruit, the bulldozers come through. A bunch of people from the city get out we're from Digital Vineyards Incorporated, and we like these trees you planted here. We're going to take all your apples, Rex. Here's your one apple. Okay, man, do I get a pear? No, we ate them all. We're taking them. We're going to sell them in the city. We're going to sell them. We're going to make money because you planted your vineyard over here digitally within this giant, huge thing where supposedly you could, bear fruit and enjoy your own fruit, right? Is the worker not worth his wages? Does a man plant a vineyard, but then can't even eat any of the fruit out of the vineyard? Weird, huh? So that's the state of affairs. And worse yet, guys like Mike's vineyard across the way, they come with bulldozers. Like, you planted trees where we're going to build a shopping mall. Plus, we don't like this area. This is the good version. We want to grow different kinds of apples that are force-fed, terrible chemicals, because we're just going to make them to like horrific candy bars at some point or whatever, right? They got some process they're going to do, and so they're getting rid of the actual organic vineyards, and they're replacing them with forced-fed, like grown on steroids and chemicals, whatever the equivalent is for vineyards, right? And they're going to push those guys down. See, you see, there are channels that are out there that they're doing a big shift. You guys want to know the insider secret? I was told by 3 people they're going to phase out the organic guys that built all this stuff in terms of what they call honest reviews and honest to God, like grassroots type channels. And they're going to get their boys in there. A new breed, see? And they're going to have lots of views. They're going to be digitally preferred. They're going to produce content that's shiny and extremely well polished and packaged in a nice way. They've already been doing it. They've already got the big ones, right? And their jackassery will be pushed. Or I don't want to be mean. The highly polished, zero clue posing type deals that are very nicely like a TV show, Rex. We're going to do the TV show, guys. Okay. Can you at least leave our organic vineyards alone? Oh, no, we're going to bulldoze them. Oh, you're going to bulldoze the vineyards, huh? Going to cut them out. You see, the industry has already been told this in the last few months, and they started planning ahead to cut all those guys out of there. Like, just phase him out, kind of just start cutting it off, phase him out. We got this guy here. See, he looks the part. 0 experience, 0 clue. But man, he looks the part. And he's willing to do it for us. And so, Grandpa and Mike and Rex and Rob and guys like this, nope. Reed, guys that were real, guys that busted their butts to grow an organic vineyard and had the patience to allow it to grow at a natural pace that wasn't force-fed by the polluted water of the digital tyranny. And they're gone, man. They're phasing them out. Okay, so what are we to do? Here's the situation, man. What's the biblical principle? You see, the point of my vineyard, when I grew it, I wanted everyone to be able to enjoy the fruit of it. Right? Because that's a biblical concept. Like, if you're passing by in the Bible and you're growing a vineyard, under his rules, passerbys can stop and take whatever they can eat from the tree and keep moving. But if they move in industrial with trucks and destroy it, that's not good. Or, God forbid, they build a giant highway in between huge cities of people with different values. They're going to stop and just use the vineyard as a garbage dump, which has been the case for the last few years. I have to protect my vineyard, man. I'm going to build a fence around it. Welcome to the gate of my fence. Here, now. By the time this video has posted publicly on YouTube, you see, when I said welcome to the actual TiborasaurusRex channel, I'm referring to my actual channel. The fenced part of my vineyard that I am transplanting the best trees and putting them over here, saving what I can, not at a radical pace. I got everything saved, by the way, too, so I can just replant. I've got everything logged. My little envelopes with all the exact seed recipes in there. So it's like, transplant operation, man. We're going to move over here. There's going to be a gate on it. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lock on it, too. Okay? And so that's the only way to protect the vineyard. Plus, hey, man, am I allowed to, eat one of my apples? Seriously, man. One of my good friends, who's one of the nicest guys I know, and a hard-working guy in his life, highly disciplined. One of the most disciplined in terms of physical fitness and success business-wise and money management, and really good guy. he said something to me the other day that made me think that, hey, maybe I haven't properly conveyed the reality on my end. Because we all look at it from kind of our own perspective. This might not have occurred to some of you either. Because I know if it didn't occur to him, then I bet you 99% of you has not occurred to you either. He said, hey man, like, I received all this stuff here that I'm doing with his skills free. So he likes to give it for free. He doesn't prefer to charge any money for it. And that's an honorable position. If you've received something, if you went and received free fruit, be careful, turkey. If you receive free fruit from a vineyard, okay, that's cool. Write a thank you letter to the guy who owns the vineyard, or just like appreciate it and give him a thumbs up. Hey, nice apples. Good job growing apples this year. As you're passing by, it's fine. And if you're going to collect a bunch of apples and go and take them to town and sell them, that's not right. He's not doing that. But what didn't occur to him is that, like, hey, the guy who grew the apples in the vineyard, to him, it wasn't free, was it? It was not free. I assure you, for me, to do everything I've done here, look at what happened to me. Dude, look at my, what do you call this thing? I haven't changed it since I did my YouTube channel originally. The original YouTube channel. Look at my little picture up in the corner. Or down in the corner, wherever they put them. That's when I started my YouTube. Look at me now. I have aged. It destroyed my body. And it burned me out. It was not free for me. Plus all the stuff that I'm delivering in terms of skill sets here, absolutely were not free to me. Now, I know that a lot of people have enjoyed the benefits of the 101 series here, the optic series here, all the other tutorials and all the other good fruit that we produced even on the spiritual side, and they've enjoyed it for free. And so they should give freely. For what they receive freely, they should also give freely. But for the man who slaved in the vineyard for those 10 years, if you read the details of the book, the principle is proper weights and measures. The worker is worth his wage. You don't muzzle an ox to tread, and do the threshing. Does that make sense? So, with that being said, I appreciate you guys being here on the real TiborasaurusRex Patreon channel. By the time this video is posted, Sniper 101 is off of YouTube. It is here on Patreon. By necessity, because Sniper 101 apparently attracts bulldozing crews. Just like, I don't want to end up like Mike, right? All the technical stuff here, going over to Patreon. So all the 101 stuff, going to Patreon. All the technical stuff, going to Patreon. Any tree that I've spent all this time growing that's under any kind of threat to be like trampled or, abused on the highway by every kid that passes by and just like vandalizes all my trees for all these years. At a certain point when that highway gets too big, which my channel is big enough now to attract enough people to where it just gets vandalized, it's not appreciated. It's easy to destroy and vandalize something if you didn't build it. But for someone who loves his trees and planted them, it's like kind of sad deal to see. So the portions that have organically grown off the road enough are staying where they're at, right? There's going to be content here on YouTube still, but it's going to be different. It's going to be extremely highly filtered in terms of like, there's certain stuff I cannot absolutely talk about for sure. So welcome to the Patreon channel. Where's my deal? I had a list here I was going to share with you, help you navigate this thing now that you're here. And if you're not here yet, then you can just watch and figure out how it works. Thank you, first of all, for being here. I appreciate your support. First time I've ever got to actually have a handful of apples. YouTube's like crumbs and stuff was not I do not work for less than a penny a day, man. You know what I mean? I went over it with the wife the other night. All the stuff that's here on Patreon that is taken off of YouTube and reorganized into Patreon, and all the exclusive stuff we've been doing on Patreon for last year that the YouTube guys probably didn't even know existed. Like, why are your channels slow down? No, my channel picked up 5-fold, actually 10-fold probably. like daily or multiple daily posts on extreme, the real dope guys. And so there's a lot of volume here. I finally realized, okay, like in the last year on Patreon, we put a lot of stuff here on the Patreon channel, and it is a different navigation system than you might be used to. So I will help you real quick to navigate. This is pretty simple, man. There's a lot of information, and if you're just trying to dig through like we were digging through videos from the last year, just for a second a piece, just to toggle which functions I want them to have for the 3 new tiers, the new training tiers that I added, that are going to kind of like be the serious training classes. But there's some funny stuff in there, man. There's a lot of gold that you have access to here on Patreon now that you're here. Huge amounts of volumes of information. It'd be crazy not to look at it at least. And at least just page through. If you're only used to like checking recent posts, man, some of the gold started like when we first started the channel, the first couple months, laying out the foundation. There's some good gold there. Absolutely don't miss that. So they're categorized in a way. First off, if you're trying to navigate through the different tiers, we do now have 5 tiers. We had expert tier, which was the 17 cents a day, $5 a month. 17 cents a day. Congratulations for being able to conjure up almost 2 dimes, right? That's awesome. But you're going to have a lot of enjoyment for giving me just a token of your support. Thank you for actually supporting the man in his vineyard, throwing your dimes into the can next to the tree. Thank you. And because of that, I want you to help yourself to all the fruit you can find here, man. I'm going to leave a lot of it here for the expert tier. We are putting up a fence, around everything here on the expert tier, as well as everything else. But one of the trees I want you to visit in my vineyard is the real dope tree. It's a series in the expert tier. If you want serious food, if you want serious nutrition and training on stuff that I would never in a million years put this out there in the public, go through the real dope series starting with part 1 and do the assignments and do the work. Pay close attention and take notes. Everything you need will be there. It was enough so far. I was going to only add to it, so you will enjoy continued deal there. If you are in VSL, like where does that fit into the picture? VSL is my second tier. That's 83 cents a day, right? So it's less than a cup of McDonald's coffee in the morning, right? Can I have a sip of your coffee, man? Thanks, VSL. Basically, the way I think of VSL, the spirit of it, is like we're the dudes like in the lounge smoking the big cigars and having brandy like on the boat, like when there's all the rich guys on the boat or whatever, right? Because we're VSL, we have 83 cents to spend because we're rich guys with 83 cents, right? Oh, we're poor, Rex. We can't afford 83 cents. Okay, man. You're still allowed to eat the apples, but like there's going to be a VSL lounge. And all us guys with our tuxedos that we found at the secondhand store, because 83 cents is kind of expensive. Now we have to get the secondhand tuxedos. We're going to go and I'm going to get away from the wives, after. And maybe there's some of the wives that are cool that are hanging out in VSL too. They're more than welcome, But like we're gonna adjourn ourselves to the smoking room and have our pipe. And we're going to supposedly be discussing politics and power plays and business, when in fact, we're like taping tables and chairs and deck furniture together in the lounge. Like, what are those guys doing? How much brandy have they been drinking? Oh, they're having fun. They're singing. They're doing karaoke videos. They're being goofy. They're doing all kinds of crazy. Must be playing some game over there. Yeah, it's called We're Going to Build a Boat on the Boat. What the hell's the matter with these guys? What are they doing? You'll see. You'll see. So VSL has exclusive access to the VSL lounge for the guys that are privy to I don't believe the first mate. This boat's going to sink. I'm pretty sure it's tilted like this. It's probably not right. Let's start strapping furniture together while drinking brandy and smoking cigars and listening to the band. Hey, bring the band in here. Play it a little louder. This is good. Hey, go wake up the kids. We're going to be playing a game called Let's See How Warm We Can Get with Our Wool Scarf. And grab some turkey from the kitchen real quick. Get the roast out like it's going to be a long night. That's a VSL tier right there. Exclusive access to that kind of stuff. If you wanted to participate in the RX seminar, the RX 100, the RX 1000, the RX 3000 ELR classroom portions in your entire life, you will only be able to train with me through this function now. RX Classroom is a serious training environment. I will give the rules on there. No screwing around. It's not for people that just willy-nilly want to like kind of, check in. If you want to train in a classroom for real, do the RX Classroom function. You have to participate in order to advance. If you get your credits there through passing with accountability and standards, accountability and pressure, if you actually pass, then you will earn points to actually do very exclusive in-person training on a very small scale in the future. I'm not publicly accessible anymore. I had to put a fence around my vineyard, man. Right? Because there are people that want to come in there, and I'm just telling you, there's reasons. We already explained that. If you are on the Zulu level, or if you're wondering what that is, there's only limited slots there. So if you kind of know what it is, have seen it hinted at in the past, or get an idea of what it is, and you want to sign up for Zulu, I think it's already filled in the first couple hours, almost over 50%. So there are a few slots left if you want to do Zulu. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you want to do it, you can read about it a little bit and then do it if you want to. And then for the final tier, the highest one, say are, in the words of Blondie, call me, call me any time. I'm not going to charge you more than an electrician would charge you for his expertise per hour. Oh, that's an outrageous price. Okay, for a California mooching, whatever bum that's under the bridge, yeah, it's too much price because you got a crack habit. But if you can afford an actual electrician to show you how to wire your panel, maybe it's a good idea. If you don't think so, then do it yourself. Oh, I got it. I can just, I'll just rebuild this transmission. I'm not going to pay the mechanic $70 an hour. Actually, I'm a little less than $70 an hour. If you want, in-person consultation, professional support, for the time I charge there, it's not that much. Read the details. Okay? So, how to navigate this thing. This will be quick. Some of you are curious on how to navigate this, and I might make this maybe a separate video. I'll just cut this out of here and make it in a different video for those of you that I'll show you. Heck, I'll just show you here. Where am I at? All right, I'm going to hit record, screenshot here. Bam. All right, this is when you subscribe to the Patreon channel, the TiborasaurusRex Patreon channel, right? The same exact name as the YouTube channel was. Same picture even. Like I just took the thing over there, so it's the same. Except you have actual exclusive access and the keys to the gate now. Here is what you'll see. Now, if you're on a lower tier, like expert tier, you're not going to see all these posts. But a lot of them you will. You actually get a lot more than a lot of people say I should have let you have. Like, you actually get almost complete access if you're going through all the steps and paying attention. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear. Easy. So here's the channel. Up top here is the Tiborasaurus. Okay, that's me. Okay, if you're on the wrong channel, then like, well, I don't know what to tell you. We got a message function here. You can read our rules on how to PM me with questions if you have them, or you can send a appreciation or howdy Rex, thanks for the channel. You can send me a message here, right? There's a lot of messages that come in, so if you actually want to contact me for response on something, you have to format it properly, which means you have to participate in the training modules, okay, to see the instructions for that. Right here, we have videos. So here's the Real Dope series. We're on part 17 on that. Here's some of the homework. I'm not going to let you totally read that. We got exclusive posts. These are not on YouTube. Okay, lots of stuff here. RX Classroom stuff. All kinds of stuff. Funny stuff, you would think. Oh, it's a blue truck. Look at that. A blue truck. What the heck? Very cool. Thank you. And we got, oh, what's this post? Yeah, you should probably check it out. Hey, it's a Humvee. Look at this Humvee. Pretty cool, huh? Hey, I'm showing these guys something. Oh, dear, what's that? What is Rex talking about here? Yeah, well, you have to like get in through the gate. You're not just going to come and like vandalize the orchard without permission, man. How do you navigate in here? Because there's a lot of posts. Like it literally took me 19 or 20 hours doing like one video at a time, just toggling the functions, like next video, let it upload, next video. It took me 19 hours. There's a lot of material here, exclusive material. These are the tabs right here that I'm circling. Look closely. You can't see it. See my arrow for my mouse? These are the tabs. They're arranged from how much stuff is in the post. You want to see training material? You click on this tab. It'll take you to the training playlist. See, here's a Zulu video, right? So if you want to watch from the beginning, see this thing here says latest post right here. I'm going to click on that. It says newest to oldest, oldest to newest. I'm going to click oldest to newest. Okay, there's my first training post, and that's my wife in a hasty fighting position with an M4, basically wearing a black t-shirt. Can you see her? Yeah, weird. So if you want to train, start from the oldest to newest, go to the oldest post first. You can toggle that function here, okay? RX Bible Talks, let's look at those. What's in the RX Bible Talks? So this is from oldest post first. I explained what the thin blue line is to the VSL, guys. Full detail of what that actually means. What's the thin blue line? Is that a cop thing? Questions and answers. If you are in VSL, you get to ask questions. If you are expert, you get to view a lot of the answers along with VSL, but the questions are now reserved specifically for VSL and above. There's all the RX community posts. We got Brewski Hour, dude. You ever want to hang out in the garage with a brewski with Rex? Okay, there you go. I would never do that publicly on YouTube. I have allowed a couple of them. Do we say stuff that like would cause people to have a literal conniption fit and light themselves on fire? So, the drop-down menu. Maybe you guys miss this. More tags. If you are looking specifically for a series, where's the Real Dope series? Go in the more tags and find the Real Dope series. Where is it? Can I see it? I don't see it. Where'd it go? See, there's a lot of them. I'm trying to keep it organized. So there's not too many of these. It's not going to grow much more than these because we have all our categories now. We have the In the Field, News, Rex Reviews, SAWS, SME videos is where you should start if you want to do serious training. Start with these. Actually, the SAWS SME writings. Everything you need to keep you busy for 30 years is in writings right here. And I'm not being hyperbolic. Karaoke? Wonder what that's about. You'll find out maybe. In the Field, we got Zulu Classroom. We got, and these are going to grow as we continue those tiers. TiborasaurusRex, Optics, Rules for Revolution. We got a couple. Here's important ones, though. If you're new to the channel, I need you to read the questions and answers instructions before you start hammering away questions to me so that actually you understand how that works. Watch and study the questions and answers instructions, okay? I would also read the house rules so that you don't destroy the vineyard and vandalize my trees, man, okay? Read the house rules. And you can read if you're in the RX. If you want to start in the Zulu Classroom, click on the Zulu Classroom tab, and then you are in the Zulu materials that I gave you. If you want to do the RX Classroom, then click on the RX Classroom for the materials I've started there. If you have access to those tiers, you'll see those videos. If you don't have access to the tiers, because you didn't purchase them, then you don't see the videos. And here's the Real Dope. Expert tier even has access to this. Okay? Now, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to be highly disciplined. You're going to have to show yourself before you get any more past that if you want to participate in the Real Dope. But dig that first. Unless you want to get straight to the point and get straight to the mechanics and the engineering of long-range precision science, then do the RX Classroom where we're not like, going through all the filtration that is required on the $5 access deal. So that's how you navigate. Real easy, right? So Real Dope series. Where's the Real Dope series, Rex? So I click on that tab. Did you see how I clicked on the Real Dope button there? Now I'm going to arrange these from the oldest posts. What do we got here? So here's part 1. So I think this is the featured video on top. So let me scroll down. Here's part 1. Part 2, Part 3, discussion format, systems baseline, statistical zero concepts, define your 90% context, rifle cartridge selection, intro kind of deal. Then we introduce you to the training scenario that we continue up until the current part where we're starting to apply those things. It's a good series. So if you're using the Patreon app to navigate these, you're going to see posts that pop up. Then you click on the post that pops up in your feed. If you're in the series Red Rodeo, we're doing the 0 to Infinity, the Real Dope series, Real Dope Part 17, for example. Here's what the post looks like when I bring it up on my phone in a series I want to watch more of. And the way I have my Patreon set up here is I make sure I put the tags on the bottom. See that little tag right there where it says the Real Dope, okay? You simply click on that, and now it'll navigate you to all the Real Dope series videos so that you can find them, and posts having to do that I tagged with the Real Dope. So once you get into a series you like, whether that be the RX Classroom or whatever, let's say I find a video I really like, it's pretty funny, I want to watch more. Like here's the Rifle Tips series. It's an entire series. We got the tips. I'm going to click on Rifle Tips, and wham! We got all these different rifle tips to choose from. Lots of funny videos, quick videos. Oh, this one is hilarious. Part 10, dude. Lots of rifle tips. So you can see the whole series from the beginning, so you don't have to go way back a year going through like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts. Pretty simple, man. That's an example of how to navigate. Very simple, guys. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again for, you see, I like this vineyard better than the public one. Putting a fence around this thing is one of the best things that I've ever done for my health. I get to eat a couple of the apples because you are here to support me. You see, I've wrecked myself, man. I've wrecked myself, so you like guys are sweet enough to come over. Hey, Rex, nice vineyard you planted. You seem like you hurt yourself planting it. Yeah, I was fighting off the vandals. That's what happened. All right, can you wheel me over to the... All right, here's a couple apples out of your vineyard, Rex. Thank you. I enjoy sitting away from the highway and where it's quiet, where there's not all the hooligans, there's not all the garbage and the noise of the cars, because it's a fenced-off vineyard now, and I'm over the hill in the back part, like when I get to the VSL and some of those outfits and the Zulu guys, you know, like I'm back there in the peace with my actual beloved homies, or whatever you want, compadres, that want to be here, that have invested and showed appreciation, and actually are kind enough to allow the workman some of his wage. You will value what you pay for, just like I have value what I have worked for. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for actually allowing this vineyard to finally have fruit that I can share with my family, which is kind of a first for me in this regard. There wasn't a joke of table scraps from the other system I was participating in. Rex, you ought to just give it to us for free more. Hey, man, I did that for 10 years, and you still have access to a lot of it for free. But my family appreciates it when you recognize that their papa spent all their time working this thing. For what purpose? To give free apples to people who, vandalize them and throw them at each other and don't even eat them and enjoy them. They complain about the apples, the free apples. And they're like, hey, Papa, why did you spend 10 years out here planting all these trees only to just, allow them to be vandalized and destroyed and unappreciated and not bear fruit for us? I'm like, hey, have patience. It'll eventually bear fruit, the long-term model. And so thank you for being here to allow this vineyard to support my family. And for that, I hope you stick around and enjoy this vineyard. It's definitely more affordable than other systems of the world. And there is tremendous value well beyond the price of admission. If I figured it out, which I did on paper and I show you in some of the videos, you're getting 70 times the value on Patreon than what you would have paid if you would have come to the classes in person. So thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. If you have any questions on navigation, just rewind the video a few minutes and watch again, okay? You have to actually look at what I'm doing. hopefully that helps. All right, Rex out. Okay, I'm all done now. Where'd you go? All done. Papa's all done working. Now you can be loud. Come here. I love you. Okay. You can watch Family Swiss Robinson.